Hello everyone, welcome back. So, I've been jonesying to get a lathe. You know, you hear me say that a lot. I don't know which one to get, and then when I pick one out and I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta buy a chuck, and I gotta buy this, and I gotta buy the tools, and then before you know it, a $150 lathe turns into like $6,000. So I put together my little simple drill lathe that I used throughout the years in many different configurations, and this one is no different. Just my drill, which I'll show you in a bit, but just my drill strapped down, a center point, and a little tiny wooden tool rest. And I had an idea to make a handle for a 5/16 rod with an antler in the middle. And I'll tell you, I absolutely love the way that this came out. I did not think it was going to come out well. I didn't bother filming it because I said this is basically an experiment. But I really dig it. I believe this is walnut. I have no idea. It's actually a handle that came on something that I bought probably 25 years ago. It might have been a brush or, you know what? Really don't remember what it was. But I looked at it and it was a dark wood, and I'm like, oh no way, man, that thing's made out of walnut. So I scored on that, and then this is a piece of antler, and I turned this on my little drill lathe. So now I have to make another one. And that's where I run into a problem, because I've tried to like duplicate things and they don't always come out right. I usually slip or this or that. So I'm going to bring you along on this little adventure to make a duplicate handle, because this one's going to be for the ferro rod. I already got a 5/16 hole drilled, and I have to make another one to match, or as closely as I can, for the striker. So I'll show you where I'm at so far. So basically, this is that handle material. It's probably around 3/4, and I drilled 2 holes here. And again, I wish I had a lathe, because then I could drill them center, but I can't do that with my little setup. So a lot of it's getting turned down, so it really doesn't matter if it's perfectly centered. And then I have a center hole here, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to attach that to the lathe. Then I just have a little bamboo skewer, and it's not a super duper tight fit. I got a little tiny bit of wiggle room. Then I just have a slice of antler, and basically this is going to go together like this, and then it gets turned into that, hopefully. So all I'm going to do is use some CA glue. I've seen a lot of people use CA glue with wood and antlers, and it works great, and that's what I used on this. So I'm just going to, you don't want to watch me glue something, so I'm just going to glue these together, and then I'll bring you over to my crazy little lathe, and we'll do some turning. Alright, so here it is. Just a drill. I have some straps, and then a little bed here with a center point here, and that's as simple as it is. I have here one of these. I show these and I always forget what they're called, but it's wood threads on one side and then machine on the other side. This is just going to get screwed in here, and that's how I hold it in. And here's the blank. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this over to the belt sander, and I'm going to cut, sand off a little bit of this just to make it a little bit rounder and easier on my tools, because these antlers are pretty hard. So I'll just bring you over there. Alright, so I'm over on my belt sander. Alright, just like I said, just to cut off some of the high spots. Let's go back over to the lathe. All right. I know my hands are going to be in the way and it's going to be loud and I'm going to have to mute the sound and all of that, but let's give it a go. So I just have a tie wrap here. I just put a tie wrap around the trigger. Simple little thing. I didn't build in any kind of adjustment for this, and then I have an on-off switch on my power supply. If something happens, I just knock it off. Oh, and I just have these little tools here. They work great. So let me show you the progress. All right, let me put it back in and we'll start some more. All right, we're getting there. Let's do a little more. All right, getting pretty close. So at this point, I won't bore you watching me on this. I'll finish this up and I'll bring you back over to the table. All right, so it's finished. It's not a perfect match, but it's pretty close and I'm truly happy with it. Very, very happy with it. So a couple things that happened. On the tailstock, I use a screw so I can adjust it in and out. And I remember this happened one other time. If I get jammed up, sometimes the piece will go towards the tailstock and actually screw in, and it makes the hole bigger. I didn't notice it while it was happening, but what ended up happening was I ended up getting a bigger hole on the bottom. So hopefully that shows up. I got a little different size there than there. Don't really care. And I didn't want it to get any bigger, so I kind of stopped where I was. So again, they're not perfectly matched, but if I hold them like this, they look pretty good. All right, so this one is drilled for a high-speed striker, and this one is drilled for a 5/16 Nathan 4071 ferro rod. So let me get them glued in. Actually, I just ordered the ferro rod, so I got to wait till that comes. But I have the striker, the high-speed steel striker. I'll put that in. But the next time you see this set, they will be finished, and I'll show you what they look like. All right, so it's been a couple days. I did a little bartering with Nathan, and here's what we got from my brother. .5/16 ferro rods. Awesome. Thank you, brother. Much, much appreciated. All right, so now this is going to fit in here. And like I say, grind away or sand away or scrape away the coating so that the epoxy sticks. So let me get this epoxied in there, and I'll bring you back. All right, so here it is. So overall length's about 8 inches. I think it's a good size for these rods. And this is a 5 mil striker. I like a little bit smaller striker. That's personal preference, for these smaller rods. And I know you want to see me use it, but you're going to have to wait till Friday for my little Fired Up Friday. I'm gonna definitely use this set. Nice fit in the hand. It was a very, very fun project to do. Makes me want to get a lathe even more than I've already wanted to get a lathe. But it worked out pretty good. And this is natural finish. All that's on this is wind, what is it? A finishing paste for dark wood, Minwax. That's all it is. There's no stain or anything on it. Then it's just buffed out. And I don't know if you can notice here the lighter colored wood, but it looked like as I was traveling up the handle and cutting it, it was getting like different shades of colors in there. So I took one of the canvas bags that I was making for the Fire It Up kits, and I cut it down to make it fit these two rods. Because if you're like me, you got a bunch of ferro rod sets with no bags. So I got this bag and they fit. Ooh, what is this? While I was playing around, waiting for the ferro rods to come, I made another set. And this set has the double bands, but you can see that wood I was talking about, how the color changed. And then obviously when I was putting it together, I tried to randomly, turn it so it would have some different colors as it went along. And this one came out pretty close. They match up pretty good. So there you go. Those are my hand-turned on a drill lathe ferro rod sets. And like I said, we're going to be firing this one up on Friday. This one I have some other plans for. So, but I like them both. I want to thank you for coming along. I hope you all are staying safe. I appreciate you watching. I appreciate all your thumbs up and all your kind words. Much, much love and respect to all of you, my brothers and sisters. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.